All right, welcome back. It is Tuesday morning. That means we get the sweet Mariefiebach making up some sweet French toast for us this morning. Glad to have you.
Well, thank you so much, Allison. This morning we are making sourdough French toast with a strawberry syrup, and I call it kind of grown-up French toast because it's not achingly sweet, but it's really custardy, and the syrup of the strawberries just kind of lighten it up, but also make it taste really yummy. And it's really simple too. It starts with 6 eggs here, and I like to make this in a pie plate because I find that the shallow dish works really well for battering the French toast. But you want to make sure that you break up your eggs before you add your milk, otherwise you're going to splash it all over. So that's my little pro tip for you, is make sure you break up your eggs before you add your milk and cream. So 6 eggs, and then a cup of heavy cream, and a cup of milk, and then 3 tablespoons of sugar. That helps it to brown and gives it a little bit of sweetness. A teaspoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon of ground cinnamon.
Oh, wow, this is already going to be so good.
Oh, it's custard. Like this is a custard, and then you just mix it together with a whisk, and add your bread. Now this bread is sourdough bread, and I like to get the wide pan. It's called a square pan or a wide pan sourdough bread because it's shaped really well for your griddle. And you want to take this bread and put it in the oven for about 5 minutes at 350 degrees, just straight on the rack. You can see this isn't really flexible. It's not toast yet, but it firms it up and dries it out a little bit. And then you just drop the bread into the custard.
Why do you do that before? Why do you put it in the oven before like that?
Because if you don't have it a little bit dry, then it's going to be really flimsy and hard to transfer to your griddle, and it helps it soak up a little bit more of the custard and makes it a little bit custardier, I think would be the right word. And so
add that to the dictionary.
Right, add that so you can see I'm just kind of pushing it under with my fork to get it all soaked in, and then I'm going to go over to my griddle, and I just have a stick of butter that I just kind of run over the top. This kind of helps it not to stick. And I transfer this custard dipped bread to the griddle. My griddle is at 350 degrees, and you're gonna let it cook for about 4 to 5 minutes on the first side, and then 3 to 4 minutes on the second side until they're all golden brown. And you just keep repeating this with your bread until all your custard is used up. This recipe makes about 9 slices of this extra large square pan bread. Then you want to see what the syrup is?
Sure.
It is 1 pound of strawberries, and you can use frozen strawberries, you can use fresh strawberries. 1 pound of strawberries and a 1/4 cup of sugar, and you bring it to a boil, and then use a potato masher to kind of slightly mash the strawberries. You still want some big chunks, but you don't want it to be too big of chunks. You kind of a halfway between large chunks of strawberries and a puree. And that is how you make this French toast. Now I like to serve mine with a little bit of powdered sugar here.
Oh yeah,
you can
need a lot of
sprinkle the
that.
top with some powdered sugar, and that just adds a little bit of sweetness. But again, you want to take a taste and tell me what you think?
Of course I do. Yeah, and you said that this is kind of grown-up French toast too. Obviously that's because the sourdough, it's kind of outside of the box. So what am I going to be tasting with the sourdough that's not what you would normally have with French toast?
The sourdough has kind of a thicker, hearty texture. It's going to give a slight tang, and it's not going to be achingly sweet like that Texas toast that you get at the diner, where it's so sweet that you feel like you are going to have a tummy ache later in the day. Mm-hmm. This has a little bit less sweetness, but still has that nice texture. Can you feel how it's firm? It's a firmer
Absolutely.
texture. It's not mushy.
So it's not necessarily like you're having candy for breakfast. You can have a little bit of that guilt away, because it's just absolutely fantastic, Maria, like right away. The strawberries hit you, and this is just exactly what you'd want from a grown-up French toast. So
Right.
Thank you so much.
And I noticed, is there a soaking time? Is there like a right time to do it? Do you want to just dunk it quickly and get it on your griddle?
You know,
This
it's
is
kind
great.
of it's a delicate dance. At the beginning, you don't have to soak it quite as long because you can completely immerse it. As you're getting on later, the custard is not as deep in the pan, and you need to soak it a little bit longer. So it's kind of a delicate dance. I like mine really custardy. I don't like my French toast to not have custard. Yeah, go ahead. You
I want to
flip
try
it?
to flip this thing, yeah. You know, get Dad in the kitchen here, you know?
Oh, see, perfectly golden brown.
Yeah. That's great, and it's not flimsy at all because of what you did with the drying it out. So,
Right, drying out the bread.
very cool. Hey, tell us what's new at Feed Your Family Tonight, please.
Feed Your Family Tonight, we're just having lots of fun there this time of year. It's summertime, and so a lot of people are talking about grilling recipes. If you join that Facebook group, I'm always asking what people are having for dinner, and it's so much fun to see what other people are having to give you some ideas for yourself. I know I'm always gleaning ideas from everybody in the group.
Sure.
That's at facebook.com/feedyourfamilytonight. And the cookbook, again, is for sale at Watermark Books and Cafe and also on my website at feedyourfamilytonight.com. The other thing is that I talk with busy families, and I go and I tell them my 3-step process for weeknight dinner success. We're in the summer now, and so now is a good time for learning and getting ready for when the school year gets crazy. I love the slower pace of summer.
Sure.
For sure, and you can find all of those tips and good resources at feedyourfamilytonight.com and on her Facebook page. Marie, always a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you. It's my joy.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back with a final look at weather.